Okay, this is literally like video 12 or 13 that we've done.
Yep.
But hopefully 13's the charm.
Yeah.
We decided that we want to do a YouTube channel. Obviously, that's why we're putting this on YouTube. I'm Bree.
I'm Hannah.
We're cool. Which is why we're on YouTube. But anyway, we don't really know what exactly everything we're going to do is. It's just kind of all up in the air. We just want to get a YouTube channel on there. But what we're doing now is reading awful fan fiction and to you guys and then commenting on it, because that's what I do on a daily basis pretty much with her anyway. I just read stories and I like text her and shit, and I'm like, oh my god, you'll never guess what happened in this story. So why not read them? Yeah. The first story we started reading, and we did the first 10 chapters, and then the videos didn't work. Yeah. And we can't read the first 10 chapters again. We just can't put ourselves through it. So we're going to do a recap. Again. This is our second recap now.
Hopefully this time it'll work.
And then we'll just link down below to the story, so if you want to actually read the first 10 chapters, you can. They're kind of funny. I just literally would bash my face into the wall if I would relive them. And we're not trying to be mean. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we should state that we're not trying to be mean. I just think it's a really fun pastime.
Yeah.
And if you put your stuff on the internet, you're open to ridicule.
Mm-hmm. Just like with us. So we'll see what happens.
Don't say that. Don't ridicule us, please. Anyway.
On to the recap.
Yes. Ooh, boobs. So, the story is called I Erased My Thoughts, If Only I Knew How. It's a Wanted story on the British pop band The Wanted. Boop, boop, boy bands. Super attractive babes. Anyway. And yeah. It is about Erin, who is Nathan's sister. And she's very sporty and unusual because she's sporty and a bit of a boy. Hold on, I'll pull up the summary again. She doesn't really care what people think about her, and she loves a laugh, so she is very unique. And then her brother and his bandmates, who are also like brothers to her, always cheer her up whenever she's upset. But then she finds out a massive secret that her family's been hiding, and then after she finds out that secret, she realizes she's in love with Nathan, her broski, and then Jay, his bandmate. But which one will she choose? And I guess that's the mystery part, because this is in the mystery section. We can't figure out how. But yeah, spoiler alert, she's adopted, and that's why she's in love with her bro. Because, oops, wrong one. She's adopted, and it's okay. They're not really related, even though they spent their whole life thinking they were twins.
But that doesn't matter. Acting like brother and sister for 16 years, it's cool.
No, totally normal. Yeah. And so basically the first 10 chapters involved her staying at their house with them, along with their little sister Jess. And poor Jess just has the short straw of things.
No one likes Jess.
No one likes her. She just sleep in like Tom's room, even though she was 15, and no one was concerned that she slept in Tom's bed with him. They're just like, whatever, Jess, get out of our lives. And she had to like sleep by his smelly feet, and then like she had to house sit the iguana, and then they were wondering why she hadn't texted them about poop yet, because they thought I was going to like poop on her. I don't, like, seriously, that's just not even me being dumb. That is part of the story was, why hasn't she texted me yet? And so her and Jess go to stay with the boys, but I should back up. I should Tarantino this and back up a little bit, because the first thing we're introduced to is a baby, her, being left on the doorstep of the Sykes house, while the mom hides in the bushes and watches. And apparently it's not the first time she's hidden in the bushes, because they mentioned that's what she likes to do.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for later, because Erin has kind of inherited some of these traits. And so then she hides in the bushes, and this Sykes family comes home, picks up the baby, and sees a note that's like, oh, I'm dying. I only have 5 days to live. So I think that's what it said. I might have gotten that mixed up with my story.
Something like that.
She only had like so many days to live, so she had to like drop her baby on some random person's doorstep. And then the dad like died on the way to the hospital when she was being born. So she just is tragic life. But why not drop your baby off with complete strangers and hope they're not serial killers?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it worked out for her. So she was dropped off, and then their parents didn't want to tell her she was adopted, so instead they told them that they're twins. And so they go through like signings and stuff. And do you want to jump in?
Yeah, and then at the signing, Erin, the main sister girl, she ends up getting in line or something like that. But then this bitch, she's like, hey, no cutting in line. And she's like, well, Nathan's my brother. And then the girl just punches her into a wall. Just
into the wall.
She was just that mad. And then, so Erin gets all dizzy and everything. And then when she goes up to them, no one really cares. Nathan is just like, hey, sit on my lap. It's okay. And she's like, I'm feeling dizzy. And he's like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Don't interrupt our signing.
You know, he may have a concussion, but hey, it's cool.
You were just slammed into a wall. Happens all the time.
Yeah. It's an everyday occurrence. And then this girl comes up to them and is like, oh, are you guys dating? Are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend? And then Erin's like, oh, no, we're brother and sister. And then a saying that's thrown around a lot in this
The best
story
saying.
is no incest, you know? And she's like, oh, no incest, sorry. But you guys would be really cute together, by the way.
Yeah, like after she finds out that they're brother and sister, she's like, no incest or anything, but you guys would be a perfect couple.
Mm-hmm.
If someone said that about me and my brother, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, excuse me? No.
Yeah.
But Erin's like, it's a bit awkward, but whatever.
Yeah. And then, I can't even, yeah, they go back to the place that they're all staying at, the wanted apartment or flat or whatever you want to call it. And then her and Jay end up making out in his bed, and he's only wearing boxers.
And then Nath comes in.
Oh my god, the drama. And so he comes in, he's like, no, get off of her. And then they end up talking, and she's like, why are you so mad about this? And he's like, I'm in love with you.
Yeah, it's not being like, I'm your brother and it pervs me out to see you making out with my bandmate or something like a normal human would say. He's in love with her.
Mm-hmm. And then he...
In an incest way.
Yeah.
Not in a no incest way.
Yeah.
Incest.
Yeah. And then he breaks the news to her that she's adopted because apparently their mom called him during that signing and was like, oh, by the way, your sister's adopted. And he just kept that news, and he wasn't supposed to tell her, but he did anyway. And then she gets really upset. And apparently when she's upset, she likes to go climb trees and hide in trees and just...
Yeah, like that's what she does. Her mom hides in bushes, she climbs trees.
Yep. That's what she inherited.
So then the wanted boys are all on board. Sorry to just jump in.
It's
but
okay.
they're all on board with him being in love with her. And so they're like, where should we look for her? And Nathan goes, just start looking in trees. And so they like just go around parks, like looking up trees to see if she's sitting up there. And eventually Nathan finds her. And he like just shimmies on up the tree and sits next to her. And she's like, oh my god, how did you get up here?
And she was like, oh, you scared me or whatever.
Yeah, like she couldn't hear him coming up the tree. Really? But yeah, so then he's like, I'm in love with you. And then she's like, I'm in love with you too. And they just like make out. And then Tom like films them making out and puts it on Twitter. And people are like, what the hell? They're brother and sister. Mm-hmm. So then she has to go and type like 10 tweets about it. And they're like, she's like, you may think we're sickos, but we're not sickos because it turns out we're not really related. We're just in love. Blah, 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 blah. And then everyone's like, oh, yay, cool.
Yeah. And then they end up going home for like a week or something. And when they get home, you know, her mom's like, oh, by the way, you're adopted. And she's like, oh, okay. Because apparently, well, first of all, they didn't officially adopt her legally. So, and then I guess she got some papers in the mail saying like, oh, by the way, you didn't adopt your daughter that you've been keeping in your house for 16 fucking years. And then she's like, but would you want to be adopted by us? Could we legally be your parents? And she's like, yes, of course. And that puts a little kink into the whole Nathan and her situation because legally they'd be brother and sister. And then that would be incest. It would be no more no incest.
Yeah, there would be no Noah from that incest.
So.
And that's pretty much where we've left off. We're on chapter 11 of 62. I don't really know what else could happen because, I mean, the main plot of the story was this love triangle that's not a triangle and this big secret that we now know is the adoption.
Yeah.
So, like, I have no idea what's to come, but that makes it even more exciting.
Yay.
Yeah. So, if this works, and if it doesn't, I will just launch this computer out the window. If this actually works, this will be the recap, and we'll upload it. Yay! And we'll do chapter 11, finally. Just
Fist
whoop.
pump.
Yeah. So, yay. We'll see. Hopefully this works.